The running back position in the National Football League is so replaceable, dispensable. I'm here to tell you why. This is Into Sports. I'm Evan. And we see all these running backs, Melvin Gordon, Ezekiel Elliott, Le'Veon Bell last year, holding out to get their money. I'm here to tell you why. If I'm a team, I'm not paying them, and why the running back position is one you can replace easily. So let's look at Le'Veon Bell. In 2017, he averaged 4 yards per carry, 7.7 yards per reception, and he had 11 touchdowns. Now what about his replacement in 2018? James Conner, 4.5 yards per carry, half a yard more, 9 yards per reception, 1.3 yards more, and 2 more touchdowns. He had 13 touchdowns. Le'Veon Bell was considered the best back in football during that season in 2017. James Conner was just a third-round backup. This is behind the same offensive line, by the way. So we see Le'Veon Bell goes out, gets replaced, and James Conner has better efficiency metrics. And the Steelers wisely did not pay him. Now let's look at the Chargers. 2018 regular season, yards per play. This is per Pro Football Focus. When Melvin Gordon was on the field, 5.89 yards per play. When he was off the field, 5.89 yards per play. Identical yards per play with their star running back on the field, with their star running back off the field. And with their backup on the field, Austin Ekeler, 6.25 yards per play. When he was off the field, 5.69 yards per play. So they were a lot better when Ekeler was on the field. They were no different when Gordon was on or off the field. You know, that's interesting. And the Chargers' record with Melvin Gordon was 4-0, including wins at Pittsburgh. Tough place to play. At Kansas City. Tough place to play. 2 really good teams. With Gordon, they were only 8-4 in the regular season. And here's the thing. He missed 4 games due to injury. He was not able to help his team. Here's what Doug Gottlieb had to say about running backs.
Why put all your money in one guy who could get hurt when you can have 3 guys for less money, and if one goes down, you can replace that guy off the street?
It seems to me like he's vouchering for a running back by committee system. Let's look at the 2 best head coaches in football, Bill Belichick and Sean Payton. Both of them use running back by committee. The Patriots, let me remind you, they had Sony Michel, Rex Burkhead, and James White. They had depth at the running back position. And in the 3rd round, they drafted Damian Harris because they know that one of their backs is going to get injured, and they run by committee. They're not forced to pay Melvin Gordon because they have plenty of other productive running backs that can easily step in and replace him. The New Orleans Saints can easily move off Mark Ingram because they know they have Alvin Kamara. They can bring in Latavius Murray, who's worse. But have no fear. Running back by committee, they can get it done with multiple guys. Speaking of injuries, Todd Gurley last year signed 4 years, $57.5 million with the LA Rams. Then he got injured. He has arthritis in his knee. And now the Rams are stuck, paying Gurley a lot of money on a terrible contract. I'd like to remind you, he was considered the first or second best running back when he signed this contract. But wait, he was injured, and they didn't have a surplus of running backs. They didn't trust John Kelly or whatever. I don't know what John McVay was doing there. But they brought in C.J. Anderson, who was cut by the Oakland Raiders. That terrible team, he was cut by them. He averaged 7 yards per carry, and Gurley averaged 4.9. 7. The backup. Interesting to think about. Okay, let's think about the best executive in football, Chris Ballard, GM, Indianapolis Colts. He had the most cap space in the league, $125 million to spend in free agency. And he didn't pay a running back. And he had Marlon Mack, a player that a lot of people aren't familiar with. And he didn't even average 4 a carry the year before. So the best executive in football is choosing not to pay the running back position. Instead, he drafted Jordan Wilkins, Nyheim Hines. Let's think about the 2016 Rams, the 28th ranked offensive line in 2016. Todd Gurley averaged 3.2 yards per carry. In 2018, behind the 6th-ranked offensive line. He averaged 4.9 yards a carry, and C.J. Anderson averaged 7. So what I'm here to tell you today is that running back success is not based on the running back. It's based on the offensive line. Did I forget to mention that C.J. Anderson was cut by the Panthers and the Raiders? And then he went behind the 6th-ranked offensive line and averaged 7 yards per carry. 7! Now after all that, I'd still like to remind you, the Los Angeles Chargers are better with Melvin Gordon than without him. The Dallas Cowboys are better with Ezekiel Elliott than without him. But they're not $14 million better with Ezekiel Elliott than without him. You want to pay Melvin Gordon, Todd Gurley money to an injury-prone guy? We could get caught in an albatross of a contract like the Rams are dealing with right now. But there are 3 running backs I think are worth the money. If I'm the GM, I would pay them some bucks. 3 guys. Number 1, Saquon Barkley. Physical specimen, can run, can block, pass catch, can get out to the outside, can hit the home run, can go up the middle for tough yards. Kerryon Johnson. Now I know y'all laughing at home, but great pass catcher. Not elite, but a very good pass catcher. But his acceleration, it's what separates him from the rest of the field. He doesn't have breakaway speed, but he breaks away because he can go 0 to 60 in a half second. He can get tough sledding yards up the middle, but his side-to-side lateral speed and elusiveness, shiftiness, it's to be unquestioned. And then the 3rd guy I would pay, it's a passing league. This guy's a great wide receiver. Even though he plays the running back position, it's Alvin Kamara. He can get yards up the middle surprisingly well for a guy his size. But the jukes, the moves, the elusiveness in the open field, and his ability to catch passes and turn it upfield in a passing league, yeah, I'm giving him $14-15 million. I mean, the real question for those 3 guys are the injuries. We've seen Alvin Kamara have concussions, Kerryon Johnson banged up in college, sprained MCL in the pros, and Saquon Barkley had a hamstring injury last year in training camp. So that's the only hesitation for me with those 3 guys. But besides them, I'm not going past $10 million. And if you have not watched the Detroit Lions play football and Kerryon Johnson run behind a bad offensive line, do yourself a service and turn on some Detroit Lions games next season, and you will see the moves out of this man. But watch Le'Veon Bell go from one of the best offensive lines, arguably the best in football from the Pittsburgh Steelers in 2017, to one of the worst offensive lines, the New York Jets, in 2019. And you're going to see him be a lot less efficient, a lot less effective. His hesitation style won't work because the lanes won't open up. So just watch that. Watch these things. This is why you don't pay the running back, and this is why their stock is going downhill. But the wide receivers in a passing league, the quarterbacks in a passing league, their stock's going up. Anyway, I hope you have a wonderful day. I'm your host, Evan, of Into Sports, and I'm out. Peace.